Jerry Justice, Cali Niner. What's up, everybody? Chip, Eric, what's going on? Watching Dayton go ahead and close this one out. About 35 seconds. We'll have a cover there. I don't know why UMass is so pumped up about that turnover. You're down 28 points with 28 seconds. Oh man. Yep, Jerry, big college basketball card today. One play in the NFL. We've got one NHL game that's going on right now. May have another one, and I'm looking at one possible NBA play. Dayton is another cover. So Auburn's a winner this morning already. Dayton's a winner this morning. Tennessee's not looking too hot. Thanks, Ruben. I appreciate it. Flex, thank you, man. It was a good day yesterday. Chip, I'm going to have to disagree with you on Auburn winning the national championship. I mean, they just beat Georgia. It's not saying much. There's teams that are a lot more skilled than Auburn, I should say. Not taking anything away from Auburn. I think they're a very good, very talented team. I think for once Bruce Pearl finally has a team that doesn't 100% depend on three-pointers. They've got a very stout defense. But, I mean, I could think of 5 teams that I would much rather put my money on to win it all than before I would even have Auburn in the conversation. Appreciate it, Keith. What's up, Scott? What do you mean, Chad? You said free plays have been on fire. No play in the later NFL game. That was my free play. The later NFL game was my free play today, along with two other free plays, but my official free play was in the later game. Please, nobody put what that play is. That's the reason the video is there. I want people to watch the video. I'll tell you this, if you really break the game down, Vikings, 49ers, look at what they've done season long. No, it was not. The Niners should win this game by 2 touchdowns. But I'm telling you right now, do not count Minnesota out. Is San Francisco the better team? In my eyes, yes. But you're talking about giving 7 to the Vikings, who I think have beaten the odds to be here. And San Francisco, in my opinion, is not the best team in football. I don't think they've been the best team in football at any point this season. And I have been pro 49ers. I have actually been pulling for the 49ers fan-wise to do well. Well, Justice, truth be told, I couldn't see the Vikings going into the Dome and beating Breeze, but it happened. Here's the thing. The Vikings are a better team than anybody is giving them credit for. That goes back all season long. All season long, they're a better team than anybody's giving them credit for. But are they better than the 49ers? No. But can they beat the 49ers? Yes. The 49ers, out of any true contender, a true contender, I think the San Francisco 49ers are the most beatable team. And I truth be told, I mean, I've got 3 true contenders that I truly think are contenders to win it all. And I think that's the Niners, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. But out of the Chiefs, and out of the Ravens, and the Niners, I think the Niners are the most beatable. Something real quick, guys. We'll give it another minute, let more people get filed in. Ohio State looked terrible, Chase. Okay, I'm not sure what relevance that has to this because I am not playing Ohio State. Okay, so we have a big card in college basketball today. Big. Bigger than I like to give out. But, guys, there's 16 pages of college basketball action today. And like my rule states, if I'm playing them, I'm giving them out. Oh, okay. I got you. So I got a couple that didn't make the cut. Like, I was really hard on these teams today. Like, I was going through, doing the breakdowns, seeing, what they matched up percentage-wise. Would they make the cut? Would they rate them? And every single one, I was also putting the eye test to them from what I've seen from them. And, every one of them took a hit. Every single one of them took a hit. And it's just because they, the eye test means something in my eyes. So there were quite a few that didn't make the cut. Those are the ones that we're going to give out today. I will give out one once we hit 50 likes that is on the card. But I like the card today despite how many games are on it because there was so much to choose from. We had to expect there was going to be value within some of it. Some of it are within conference play within, top tier conferences. Some of them are with mid majors and, nobody conferences. The value's there today. And I've got a few free plays that I want to give out. There's one that I wish that I would have gone live earlier. I just didn't have the time to do it. I almost pulled the trigger on Virginia Tech money line, but I didn't. Jerry, to be honest with you, on paper, Louisville should have been a 5-point favorite. The way that Louisville has played of late is up and down. I mean, you have a great game, then you have an off game, then you have a bad game, then you have a great game, then you have an okay game. I mean, it's peaks and valleys. Overall, is Louisville a great team? Yes. Are they one of my top fives? Yes. Is Notre Dame? Absolutely not. But when Notre Dame gets hot offensively, Notre Dame's a top 15 team. Defensively, they're pretty porous. Over 136, I think, would be probably the most intriguing thing about that matchup today. It didn't make the cut for anything, but it's worth, take it for what it's worth. I don't like the game today. I think the line's accurate. If the money line was under $1.50, I may take a shot Louisville money line, but it was in the 60 percentile of my system, which you don't even get a second look for a premium play unless you're above 75%. Scott, if a message gets retracted, that's that person doing it. The only person that can retract is a message is that person who posted it. About what? I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm behind on emails today, but this card was so big, I had to do that. The home dogs. The home dogs in the bin. I don't think an away favorite is covered yet. Yeah, but I don't think that it's a trend because of the mismatch of talent. I think that it's the odds makers getting it wrong. The odds makers are still playing catch up with how dominant the Big Ten is now. So, for instance, if it were the ACC, a conference that's always dominant in college basketball, I don't think you'd see as much of it as far as an against the spread aspect. But with the Big Ten, odds makers always have Michigan State, sometimes Michigan. Ohio State's been in the mix for the past few years. But really, I mean, and then your occasional, and Maryland, of course, but Maryland, in my eyes, I still think of as an ACC team. But now that you have so much of the Big Ten that's truly talented, the lines are just off. So I don't think it's necessarily a trend where, we don't know how good a team is, or we think a team's too good. I just think that the odds makers are not giving credit where credit's due because they're still living in 2017. They haven't caught up to 2020 yet, where the Big Ten reigns supreme in college basketball. And will the Big Ten reign supreme forever? No. But I think the Big Ten's here to stay as a contender. That's just my... Well, and Scott, you got to think that the way that college basketball refs are done, it's not like college football. So if you notice that you have your ACC refs, SEC refs, Big Ten refs, all in college football, the region's so big and they all travel. It's like drawing a name out of the hat. I hope you're doing better than yesterday. I had a good day yesterday, Alex. Nothing wrong. Money-wise, we had a great day, 5-1. But in basketball, they're all regional based. So you notice, like in the ACC, your Duke, North Carolina refs, which have to be cream of the crop. They're all pretty repetitive. And in the Big Ten, you typically don't have a team go from reffing a game in Iowa to then shooting over to Maryland or Rutgers or something like that. Does that make sense? So I think that what you're saying and them being home biased is true. I don't necessarily think that it's to the team as it is to the region. Does that make sense? Oh, okay, Alex. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Yeah, somebody sent me an email yesterday and was like, "You look like shit yesterday. How can I be confident in your picks?" And I said, brother, don't be confident in them. Do whatever you like. Don't send me these stupid-ass emails again. And then it went 5-1. I got another email from him going, "Thanks for making me feel so bad about yesterday's picks. I laid off, and now you won." I said, "What do you mean now I won?" I said, "You've been with me for 4 months, and you haven't had an overall losing month yet." And he said, "Well, you need to be more upbeat on your videos or else people aren't going to play them." I said, "Then do whatever you want." Come at me with that bullshit. You need to be more upbeat. What do you want me to do? Cut cartwheels? Cut cartwheels and a game loses. Then I'll really look like an asshole. There will be no live show tomorrow, which is usually not on Sundays, but just letting everybody know all the arrangements are starting tomorrow, so probably won't even do a free play video. Plays will be out in the morning. What's up, Danny? And, yeah. So that'll be that. And so at some point, probably in early March, there'll probably be 3 or 4 days with no videos. Plays will still happen. And all that, except for one day. I have to go in and have some knee surgery done that I've been putting off for the last year. And after I go see my orthopedic surgeon, I believe that I'm going to have to go ahead and finally have elbow surgery as well. Chip, you're asking if I like Clemson. Give me your context in that. If you're asking if I like them personally, no. There's nothing that I hate more than that godforsaken team. No, I do not. They're 59-0 in Chapel Hill. And I can promise you this, they've played worse North Carolina teams than what's taking the court today, and they've taken a hell of a lot better teams than they've got going into today. 59-0 in Chapel Hill, the most dominant run in all of college sports. So no, I do not. I'd rather see Dabo get elected as president than see them winning the Dean Dome today. That's just one thing I don't want to go away. Let Clemson do whatever they want in football. Because it'll be all we hear for the next 3 years. Oh, we beat you in the Dean Dome. Well, it only took you 60 tries, so... No, not really. I mean, because you think, the only harder part about it is, Keith, is that it's ever changing because you get used to a player for a year and then he goes completely out of the equation next year. So that's the only downfall. But once you get used to him for that year, then usually nothing ever changes. It's just once the year's over, then everything you studied for him for that year is irrelevant. Before I became disciplined, what was my biggest loss? 30 grand? 33,000 to be exact. And that was before I became disciplined. I lost a $50,000 wager in baseball this year. But in that same month that I lost that, I was still up a little over 40 for the month at the end of the month. Fuck, Ohio's not going to cover. God, they were such a good dog today. Yeah, Colton, we did it yesterday for a while. Like, probably half hour or better. We'll touch on some things today for it. No. I've never put more than a couple grand on a parlay before. They are suicidal. Let me look at something here. I'll tell you another dog I want you, or not a dog, another game I want you to look at tonight. Arkansas is laying 2 on the road in Oxford at Ole Miss. I think the line should be about 3.5, but the money line you can get right now that I see at William Hill is minus 125. It's worth fun money, in my opinion. Take Arkansas on the money line on the road. Oh, no. And the only reason that I didn't, Colton, is because most people can't bet it. I actually had some money on the over on that one. But last year, I actually put that game out as a top play. That, obviously involving North Dakota again. And you should have seen how many people were raping me for putting that game out. I can't bet it. My guy doesn't take it. My book doesn't take it. Yada, yada, yada. Caesars won't let me play more than 500. Yada, yada, yada. And I'm like, well, William Hill, didn't limit me. And, if you're betting at Caesars, why don't you just walk across the street? So I decided that I would not even bring the game up. Scott, I told you I liked them last night on the money line. Somebody was in here yesterday. I think it was Irie. There's Irie. I think it was Irie yesterday saying Ottawa yesterday, money line. And I said that Wings on the money line as a dog yesterday. We only played one premium play in the NHL yesterday. Pittsburgh on the road, underdog, plus 135. They took care of business. So another NHL winner. Let's see something here. God, my Lord. Now that we got a good many people in here, I might as well tell you guys. Ah, Mia, that's what you're talking about. Okay. When you said it, you were like, love Clemson, but I'm a diehard Tar Heel. I thought that meant that you were one of the weirdos that is, I'm a Tar Heel, but, I like Clemson and I like Dabo and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, then you're not a Tar Heel fan. Now I understand. What's up, Tim? All right, so anybody that is not on a package or that is on a package that, might be expiring in a few days or whatever, we're running a little contest this weekend. Anything that you purchase between now and tomorrow, well, today and tomorrow, you have both days, either day to do it. Whatever you buy, 3 days, 7 day, a month, a season, a year, it doesn't matter. You're automatically entered in to win that package for free. So the way it works is everybody that purchases something, today or tomorrow, you, I wouldn't take OKC at -7, but I think that it's moving in the right direction. OKC should have been favored from the jump today. With the way they're playing, the Lakers coming off of that game last night, no Davis. LeBron broke his record last night. So he may very well be sit out some of this game. So it's moving in the right direction. Am I going to lay 7 to OKC against, LeBron? No. But if you ever wanted to play a teaser, I'd tease them down if you could get it. But anyway, whatever you buy, you're automatically entered. Tomorrow night, once I get home, I'm going to come through, do a random drawing, and if you win whatever you purchased, okay, he's officially out now. All I saw earlier in the report was would not play full. So that meant minute limitations. If he's out, I still don't know that I would lay 7. I'd lay 5. I mean, we played OKC the other night +4. Told everybody I liked them to win outright. They did. And Dominant fashion. That night we had two. Only played two NBA games. Both of them were dogs. Minnesota and OKC. Both of them won. But anyway, whatever you buy this weekend, if your name is drawn, you get to win that package again. So if you bought 3 days, you'll get another 3 days for free. You bought 7 days, you'll get 7 days for free. You bought a month, you'll get another month for free. If you buy a season, let's say you were to buy NHL today or tomorrow, and you're drawn, you get another season for free of your choice. You can get next year's NHL, you can get NASCAR, you can get baseball, you can get whatever you want. If you buy a 1 year all access and you're drawn, you get another year tacked onto that. Or you can choose to give that year away to your buddy for all I care. But that's today and tomorrow, whatever you purchase. Danny, have you not been fading the Atlanta Hawks this whole year? Especially with Trae Young out. When he was out, I was eating up some Atlanta Hawks. Here's a high line, guys, but man, it's too high. But the second that I say that this game's not justified, it'll end up happening. Let me look at one thing, guys. I just want to look at one more thing on this game because I pulled it off of the card. Percentage-wise, it actually made the cut, and I just hated the line, so I pulled it off. God, I don't like that line. But somebody said before, if it don't make the cut, but it was close, they want to know. Texas Rio Grande Valley minus 19. It made the cut. I just don't like that minus 19. I don't think they should be 19-point favorites to anybody, even if it is Chicago State, the second worst team in all of D1 ball. Because it made it, I'm sprinkling some on it, fun money, because I followed my system, but I pulled it off of the premium card. Have we been talking about 14, 15 points here? Hell, it'd probably been a top play. Chip, we actually just went over that just about 20 seconds ago. Said I don't like a minus 7. It's justifiable being that LeBron's out, and being that the Lakers are on a back-to-back. But even if, hold on one second. Let me do something real quick. Before we do anything, give me just a second. I'll pull this up real quick and just go off of sheer statistics. With the Lakers on a back-to-back, on the road, and I'm going to take LeBron's numbers out of the equation. And I'll see what my system shows that line to be. Give me a second. It's going to take a minute. I'm running this software so it slows everything down. All right, I'm seeing 6.5 actually on William Hill. When I broke the game down earlier, I actually had LA at minus 1.5. And that was at 5 o'clock this morning. Let's look at something here. Still doesn't make the cut, guys. Take Davis out of the equation. You take you take LeBron out of the equation. The biggest hit to this game, as far as LeBron James is concerned, is him averaging 11 assists a game. That's big considering how he does his assist and how OKC is good at defending. I'm showing OKC minus 3.5. I don't see a minus 7. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I'm telling you not to take OKC, because there's ever a time where they're going to beat the Lakers by that much or then some. It's today. Lakers on a back-to-back on the road, no AD, no LeBron, and the Thunder are playing lights out right now. I'm going to go off of the numbers. If I had to play just my head, yeah, I'd probably lay 5 with them. I don't know that I'd lay 7. They haven't proven enough to me. The Lakers are not a bad team. They're a very well-rounded basketball team, when we talk about per NBA standards. They're not going to be atop any conference in the league without AD and LeBron, but they're just as competitive as the Brooklyn Nets without them. They're just as competitive as the Timberwolves without them. They're just as competitive. They're more competitive than teams like Charlotte, Cleveland, the Knicks, in my opinion, Sacramento, Golden State, Detroit. Yeah, we're about to get hit pretty hard here too, Chip. We've been getting rain pretty good. I don't think we're going to get anything like tornadoes and shit down like where Alabama and South Georgia are going to get, but we're quite a few hours above them. Let's do a free play, guys. Let's do a free play. We're at 32 likes, so it's not going to be a premium play. But I will give you one that was close to making the cut, just barely got pulled off. And we will save the premium for when we get enough likes. I already told you that I like Arkansas on the money line. I'll be honest with you. I haven't been a big backer of this team this year. We've taken them, I think, 4 times. All as favorites. We've won some money with them. But I think this is the perfect spot for them tonight. St. Mary's is still teetering around that category of are they for real, are they not? Obviously, are they a better team than Santa Clara? Hell yes. That's not even up for debate. St. Mary's is ranked 30th overall in my system. Santa Clara is not even ranked in the top 100. St. Mary's being at home right now, I think they're on an uptick. They're really passing the ball well, and that was their downfall. Because they really didn't hit a slump. It was just them not playing up to potential. The way they're passing right now is second to none. They're passing like a top-tier team, like a top 10 contender. Are they going to be that at the end of the year? Nope. They're not. Are they going to make it to the tournament? Maybe, because I still see some big upsets happening. Are they going to make a run in the tournament? Nope, I don't think so. I don't think, I think if they make it to the tournament, they're a quick in and out. May very well not even make it past the first round. Who knows? But tonight, I think because of the way that Santa Clara's hung around in certain games and the fact that St. Mary's hasn't put teams away like they've been, known to do over the past, what I'd say St. Mary's the past 3-4 years has been in national talk. They've been right up there being talked about like Gonzaga and like your Utah States that'll hang around, stuff like that. Today, I think if any day there's been in the past month that this is just a 100% complete and utter mismatch. It's a mismatch on paper. It's a mismatch, any way you want to look at it. Even take in the good times, the bad times, everything. This is a complete mismatch. I'm going, through here looking at some of these numbers that are disappointing for St. Mary's and looking at numbers that are impressive by Santa Clara. But I still have Santa Clara ranked at 136, taking everything they have into account. So you're talking about 106 points higher or, better rated or worse rated than St. Mary's. St. Mary's is at home. St. Mary's should win by 13. Without doubt. St. Mary's minus 13. Lock it in. You may even get a 12.5. Pinnacle has 12.5 right now. Yeah, Mia Charlotte. Or close to it. Basically Charlotte. South Point, to be exact. We talked about the Niners in Minnesota at the beginning of the game. I don't have a play on it. My play is in the Ravens game. I have laid off of playing the Niners game. I think that they're giving just a little bit too much to the Vikings. Should they cover it? Sure. Yes, absolutely. Especially if you just look at just pure numbers on paper. But there's something about this Minnesota team that, to be honest with you, there's only two teams I think can truly be justifiable to be laying over a touchdown with anybody at this point where we're at in the season or in the postseason, and that's Kansas City and Baltimore. So there's another free play for you. So let's do this. We need 12 more likes. We'll do one. I'll cherry pick one directly off the card. And let's do I want more coffee. I've been up all night. And I want to do some more national championship talk. As well as we're going to break down some NFL action for tomorrow. So let me take about a 2-minute break. Let me go fill this up. Got to run downstairs. Haha, Danny, you're it. Danny, run the chat. I'll be right back. We need 11 more likes. Well, we're going to get to 50 likes, and we'll do another free play. dudes. Oh. All right, what did I miss? Chad says we need Arizona weather in our life. That's for damn sure. Okay, so when we get to this 50 likes, we're going to do a free play. Would y'all rather have a favorite or an underdog? Because I got both. I got both. I can tell you this. The streak may very well end today. It could. But North Carolina, as bad as they're playing, as untalented as they are, as Roy likes to say, they are still a better team than this Clemson squad. On neutral site, in Little John, and the Dean Dome, they're a better team. That doesn't mean they can't get beat. I'll tell you this. Baylor's not better than Kansas. They're not. You just saw what happened. No, I'm not going to give out my top play. All the rest are rated premium, so they're all rated the same as far as what we're going to wager. What do you guys prefer? I can tell you this. Both of my underdogs that I'm playing in tonight's college basketball action are power conference matchups. Or we can do a favorite, but I've already given out a couple of favorites, so I didn't know if maybe one of you peeps wanted an underdog. God forbid I don't put out an underdog on the card one day. I get people going, why don't you ever play underdogs? And I'm like, well, I played 4 yesterday. And they're like, oh, well, you don't ever play them. Okay, whatever. I'm very selective with my underdogs. I don't think I played a single underdog in college basketball the first 3 or 4 weeks. Now, I'm eating underdogs up, but they win. Anybody can go play an underdog. Underdogs are the easiest thing to win. I don't play an underdog unless I think that underdog should win outright. And not all of them come through. But most of the time when I have a dog, they win outright. Vancouver looks like they're going to cash. Buffalo, I mean, there's still plenty of time left in this game. Vancouver was my underdog for the early NHL slate. Had Vancouver plus 115 on the road at Buffalo. They're up 5-3 with about 10 minutes to go in the third period. So if they can sustain at least a 1-goal lead, Buffalo will pull a goalie. And Vancouver is very good at getting empty netters. Hey, here's a fun stat for you guys. Did you know that when they're favorites, St. Louis has the worst record in all of hockey? And when as an underdog, the New York Rangers have the best winning record in hockey? I'd have to go back in my notes and actually find the numbers. But it's like 11 for 20-something when St. Louis is a favorite. Because they've been underdogs quite a few times this year. And New York is an underdog more so than their favorites. And New York is not a bad hockey team. It's just food for thought. Zero. You're talking about just straight up. If the Ravens played the Titans 5 times in a row, not a single time. The only chance that the Titans really have, in my opinion, to beat the Ravens in the state that they're in would be that if the Ravens could not go back and study any film on Derrick Henry. But the thing is, people that study film on him, he still beats them because he's just that powerful. You can know what Henry's going to run, and he will still one-on-one beat anybody. What's up, Roland? Roland, I'm praying for UNC today. I am. Should they win? Yes. Should they cover? Yes. Truth be told, in my system, like the way I break games down and it gives me a line, I've got UNC -7. But the way that they're playing, I mean, they could be playing 5-on-2 and and give the game up. They're playing terrible. I'll tell you this, no bullshit. You know, I don't care if I hate the team or not. If the numbers are there, the numbers are there, and I will gladly go against who I like to make money. But in this game, if Clemson had the potential, to be a play of the year, I would lay off before I would back them today because I don't want the 59-0 to stop here. I want it to be 60-0. Yeah, but they dispatched a Pats team that not only had the second worst game they played all season, they had a Pats team that was just. I mean, we saw for the most of the year we got to saw 50% of what the Patriots really were, and in that game I think we saw 20%. That's why I think this line is only 9.5. Is because of that Patriots win, and I think there should be a big asterisk by that win. Not saying they didn't deserve to win, they did, but they did not beat a contender. The Patriots were not a contender. Today they have to go, and keep in mind, this is their third straight road game. They have to go out there and play, they're on the road. Then they go play Belichick in Foxborough in a wild card in not the greatest of weather. Henry has to do it all himself. And now you're having to go to Baltimore to play what has been and still technically is to this point the best team in the league. On no rest, essentially. I mean, yeah, but it don't matter if Tannehill played well or not, but because Tannehill wasn't a factor in the game. They could have put in, one of the trainers as quarterback. Henry did all the work. Take him out of that game, Patriots could have played exactly like they did and won by 21 points. Yeah, sure. It was 96 something. 96.51%. Yeah, I think it's a big overreaction. I think they're giving the Titans too much credit. Now that's not, guys, it's the NFL. We're still talking about the greatest football athletes on the planet. But if you really want to think about it, the Titans are a nobody. Against somebody like Baltimore. But who knows? Maybe Baltimore has an off game. It's as simple as that. It's like, take Henry out. They have no prayer. Let Lamar Jackson have a bad night or tweak his knee or, God forbid, get injured or something like that. Then guess what? Tables are turned. I think without Jackson, Baltimore's better. But with him, you're not even in the same room. Hold on, guys. What other MLB capper do you know that gets his hands on these for every team? This media guide breaks down every single recorded stat known to man involving every single player associated with in this case, the Atlanta Braves, but all the way down to rookie ball, single A, double A, triple A, Pacific Coast ball and the actual Braves roster. So while your capper's using ESPN.com and MLB.com, I've got 714 more stat breakdowns per team. No, I agree to that, Brennan, to a certain extent. I do think that luck has played a small factor in Tennessee. But I think luck played a small factor in New England. Luck and the fact that Brady and Belichick were still leading the charge. But I think that scheduling helped both those teams out. And I do think there were times when teams made mistakes and luck was on the side of Tennessee for them to win games that they shouldn't have won. Just like I think that you can call it luck or you can call it Russell Wilson, but that's why Seattle's in the position they're in. And I still think Russell Wilson, truth be told, I think he's right there with Lamar Jackson. I mean, yeah, what Lamar's done is more showman, I guess, and it's looked better. But Lamar hasn't had to put the entire squad on his back. Russell has. And had it not been for Russell Wilson, they wouldn't have even been in wild card contention. I mean, they wouldn't have even. I really think without Russell Wilson and what he did, I think Seattle could have had a losing season. Chris Bryant got his arbitration deal done. That actually surprised me. I didn't think they were going to do a deal with Bryant. I still don't know that Bryant will stay for another contract. They did sign Javier Baez to a $10 million one-year contract to avoid arbitration. I think that buys them a year with him to see what they do next offseason before they go and make the big jump to sign Javier. But I do believe that Javier will be their guy, their franchise guy. And if he's not, then they're stupid. They're fucking retarded. Javier is more valuable than any other person on that franchise. I think that defensively he's the most valuable person in baseball. And he's still not going to get the money that like a Lindor or Mookie Betts or Nolan Arenado or somebody like that would get because of his hitting. So the fact that you can get someone like that for essentially $100 million less and get him to play there for his entire career, yeah, shouldn't even be a question. I'd let Rizzo, Bryant, Schwarber, Ian Happ, I'd let the entire roster leave before I would even consider letting Baez walk. Last season was 68% roughly. The year before it was like 72.77%. That's premium and top plays from opening day all the way through the World Series. Top plays both years were above 80. To the exact percentage, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. Does everybody want my key to the game and what I think these teams have to do? Well, listen, I don't think LSU has to do anything. If LSU plays like they have a chance to win the game on Monday. And with how dominant their offense is, and with the fact that I think they are more battle tested than Clemson this year by a fairly wide margin from their schedule base to Clemson's, and the fact of how stupid accurate Joe Burrow's been, but also that his weapons are amongst the best in all of college football. So if they play like they've played, then they can win the game. I don't think that the way they played against Oklahoma should be what people base this on, because Oklahoma was no match for them. Truth be told, I don't think Oklahoma would have been a real match for Clemson. I think that it would have been more high scoring had it been Oklahoma-Clemson, because LSU, in my opinion, was able just to clamp down on their defense a little, or on their offense a little bit more than I thought they would. I think that Venables probably wouldn't have even shown his card when playing them. He had to against Ohio State. If you look at one thing that Clemson do, and I think this could be the deciding factor, I really think that it's going to come down to turnovers. Clemson is among the best in the country in forcing turnovers. The only team that I thought that was truly all around better than that this year was Ohio State. They are better in forcing turnovers than LSU, and it all comes at the right times. I heard someone say that they're going to have to pick Joe Burrow off. They don't have to pick him off. Would that be good? Yes, because that would give you more chances for a pick six, for something to where your offense wouldn't even have to take the field for you to gain points. It's going to be much harder for you to pick the ball up off the ground and go score immediately. But I'm telling you right now, look at Justin Fields. He threw one pick all year. Clemson got him for two. I think Justin Fields was a smarter quarterback than Joe Burrow. Do I think that he's more accurate? Do I think that he's necessarily better? No, but we haven't seen enough of either one of them to make that judgment call. Fields is too young. Burrow was a nobody until this year when he started, so you can't really say that. Trevor Lawrence has proved more than both of them combined as far as longevity. Clemson figures out a way for them to turn the ball over twice. Clemson wins this game. Period. Danny says, Chase, I truly believe OSU would have beat LSU. I truly wholeheartedly believe that as well. Chase Young would have gotten to Joe Burrow. That would have been the first time somebody would have truly rocked his ass. And I think right then that would have scared the daylights out of him, going, oh my God, here's a glimpse into what 16 weeks every year are going to be like. Joseph, that's hard to say, because they're going to also, just like they do, they're going to take into consideration the way those teams play this weekend. They're going to see how Baltimore plays, and if they win, how badly they win, how much of a rout it is, or if it's just barely, of course, because then it'll be an overreaction saying, oh, Baltimore's maybe not what we thought. They'll do the same thing with KC. Truth be told, I think if both teams go out there, win by multiple touchdowns, and it looks the way that we think that it's going to look, I say that Baltimore's favored by 3. Opening line probably gets drove down to 2. Money line, Baltimore minus 130. Here's the thing. When 100% healthy and when he's not being rattled, Patrick Mahomes is probably the most dangerous QB out of all this. I know you say Lamar because Lamar can do so many great things with his feet, and yes, that is true. But I'm telling you right now, these both of these quarterbacks are not going to be able to do with their feet what they've been able to do all year, because you have these teams are waiting on it now. They're expecting it. They know it's coming. So when it comes down to just downright quarterback play and having to let your arm do 90% of the work, I'm sorry. If both people are 100% healthy and having time to throw the ball and make good decisions, Patrick Mahomes is more dangerous than Lamar Jackson, in my opinion. Yes, I do. I actually have some in my car. He was double teamed in the Clemson game for at least a good portion of it. But see, the thing is, that's where Clemson actually kept themselves in the game by focusing more effort on Chase Young than they did even getting to Justin Fields on the offensive end. Did you not notice that they were rotating O-line and D-line players? They were more worried about Chase Young getting to their quarterback than they were getting to Justin Fields. That also led the way for them to just worry about a running back for a good portion of the game versus having to worry about downfield. I gotta hand it to them. They were down 16-0, but it could have been a lot worse. They kept themselves in the game. Should they have won it? No. They didn't win it. They were given it, but that doesn't mean that it was going to be a rout. I don't think there's a team that can rout Clemson. I truly don't. Not unless Nick Saban got a hold of them again. Give me 1 second, guys. Vancouver covered. So NHL underdog cashes again. Vancouver wins 6-3 outright as a road dog. Cash that ticket, people. All right, I got to look at something real quick. I've been waiting on my local guy to text me back for like 2 hours. And did anybody know that Clemson's been running a scout team all week as Joe Burrow? Tanner Muse says that he knows and has studied and has memorized all of Joe Burrow's mannerisms. How he acts for certain things, little quirks that he does when he's about to do something. That's invaluable, guys. You don't get that chance when you have a week's preparation. Now maybe that's just that safety going out there and trying to do something to get in the head of Burrow to make him change his mannerisms, but I believe it. I believe it until you prove me wrong. All right, give me 1 second, guys. I've been waiting on him. I was going to do this one game with him to spread money around the way that I want. All right, sorry about that. All right, 3 more likes. We're at 47, guys. 3 more, and I'll give you one off the card. But let's go ahead and talk about this game tomorrow involving the Packers. What do you guys think about that game? I know. Matthew Stafford's one of the most consistent dudes in the NFL. I like him. That dude gets the immortal shit beat out of him more than any other quarterback in the NFL. And he still produces. He might not win a lot, but there's a reason that contract-based, he was making more than any other quarterback in history. And for a small time, I think he was the highest paid person by contract standards in the NFL. No, I did not. I used to have a guy that I would talk to about stuff. He wasn't a capper for me. He was an ex-player from Montreal, and I would talk to him about certain things. But no, he did not cap for me. He was able to watch a lot more than I was at that time. So I would call him and just get, from a player's perspective, some insight on things that I had done or things that I thought, things that I had come up with. All it was just reassurance from a player standpoint about certain things. But no, I've never had a guy. I've never had anyone I get picks from. The only person that I've ever taken picks from is Patrick, and that's NASCAR. Well, I don't like the Georgia Bulldogs either, but I like old Stafford. All right, guys, we're at 50 likes, but before we do this, let's do the Seahawks and Packers game. There's a couple of things that's going to come down to. For the Seahawks, it's going to come down to Russell Wilson. There's just no other way about it. I mean, period. It's been Russell Wilson all year. It's going to be Russell Wilson here. It's a fact. Matter of fact, yeah, Stafford, I've actually met him. He is a phenomenal human being. In college, I met him too, and he wasn't a bad guy. Most people were like, "Oh, he's an asshole." No, he was really quiet. Which he's still a quiet guy. He's not like a Deshaun that goes, "Yeah, man, I'm really good at football and shit." Fucking Deshaun can't even speak. He speaks like Marcus Lattimore used to. If it was not for football, I would not be playing football today. Just like Mark Ingram. He sounds like an idiot. Super talented. Just talks like a dumbass. Like, dude, there's just certain ways when you're at your level just to be a professional. I'm all for joking around and everything, but when you're standing up there in front of the press post game, conduct yourself in a different way, man. Save that for Twitter and all that other shit. Because I can tell you this, you wouldn't have done that shit under Bill Belichick. You wouldn't have done that shit under Saban. You can get away with it with Harbaugh. Might get away with it with Pete Carroll. Which that's no shot to Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's a fantastic coach. Probably get away with it with old Dum Dum Dabo. Okay, so Danny, you're from Georgia. Do you talk like that? Anyway, back to the important issues at hand. It's going to come down to Russell Wilson. It's been Russell Wilson all year. It's going to be no different here. Again, we talk about the fact that teams have had time to prepare. Green Bay has had time to prepare. Green Bay has had time to really look at Russell Wilson. There's been a few key pieces that they've had to look at. These teams are a lot more alike than people actually, think. If you look at their O-line and their D-line, with the exception of Jadeveon Clowney, these guys are very, very similar. Offensively is where you get the difference. You have two quarterbacks that are outstanding at what they do. Russell Wilson, that's MVP caliber this year. Aaron Rodgers, that's most definitely a top 5 quarterback to have ever played the game. Second best in the league, in my opinion, right now. Right sandwiched in between Brady and Breeze. Aaron Rodgers can make plays with his legs that people like Breeze and Brady cannot, in my opinion. He knows how to slide. I think Brady's a little more battle-tested to big-time situations that, it's win or go home. Now, that's not saying Russell Wilson's, won a Super Bowl, been in 2 of them. But I think that Aaron Rodgers, as far as just overall amount of games, I think that Aaron Rodgers holds that edge. Aaron Rodgers is most certainly a leader of men. He is the coach of that team just like, any other player could be. Aaron Rodgers is the real deal. Now, if Russell comes out flat and isn't able to do anything, game over. Then we have a shot. But Russ is going to be covered tomorrow. Now, here's the thing. Russ goes out there and has one of his games. It doesn't matter. Put 3 people on him. He gets out of it. He extends drives. There is no better quarterback in the league at extending plays and drives than Russell Wilson. Not this year. But then we also talk about Aaron Rodgers' accuracy, where he can put the ball where he wants it, in between 2-3 defenders at a time and make it look easy. So you're even the playing field back out. I think this is going to come down to One, and I hate saying this is to be this big of a factor in a game this big, but it's going to be. Weather's going to be a factor. I don't think that Seattle is ready for that weather. Everybody talks about, oh, Seattle, they play in bad weather too. No, they play in rain. Let's check the weather for tomorrow. Right now, it's 20 degrees in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tomorrow, the high is 24. Now, it's not going to be snowing. It's not going to be raining. That's good. But it's going to be 24 degrees in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I'm telling you right now, Green Bay is more well prepared for that. I think Green Bay's been practicing outside all week. I think that's going to come down to it, and I think it's going to come down to if they can stop Wilson. It's going to be their main focus. If Wilson can be contained even in the slightest, I think that mixed in with, the weather and the veteran leadership of Aaron Rodgers, there's your Packers side. If Russell comes out and plays like he has in certain games this year, he alone wins the game. My initial lean, I have not placed a bet on this game. I probably will, but it will not be till late tonight or tomorrow, which if I do, my clients will know about it. But initially, I'm taking Green Bay. I think that Green Bay is the better team overall, and I don't think that one man can do it himself with these two teams. I don't think Rodgers could do it by himself. I don't think Russell could do it by himself. I think that it's going to be a team effort here, and I think that Green Bay holds a slight edge there. So I like Green Bay, but, that's not saying I'm putting any money on them. When my bet's locked in, all my clients will know about it. But if I had to place a bet right now, I'm backing Green Bay. Yeah, I don't think it's more of him coming out flat. I think it's how he's contained. And keep in mind what he did against the Niners. He was the only person doing anything. Against the Chargers, a little bit, Ryan. Against the Niners, not really. But again, this is also, big-time game at a big-time place with a big-time quarterback. Sometimes, guys, we just have to look at the obvious. I think that too many people are overthinking this game. The keys to the game are stop Russell Wilson and let Aaron Rodgers do his thing. So if you contain Russell Wilson, then Aaron Rodgers will find a way to get you the ball. And I'll be honest with you, with as good as he is with not giving up dumb shit, like he's not just going to get sacked. He'll throw the ball away before he'll just outright get sacked if he knows it's coming. He'll be the first one to move up 2 to 3 yards and slide if that's all that's there versus standing there hoping something happens. And if it comes down to receivers and tight ends getting covered all night and you have to thread the eye of the needle, I'm sorry. Aaron Rodgers is the best in the game to do it. Russell Wilson can extend drives better than anybody, but if they contain him, then you just took the major edge that Seattle has in this game away from them. The only thing that I think can keep them in it is the one thing you have to take out of it. Well, they should buy into it because he has been great. But I'm saying take that away, and what do they have? They don't have much. That's why I said without Russell Wilson's performance this year, I think Seattle could have been a losing team with a losing record. Oh, I know. I'm not pushing for that. It's going to be next month before paperwork's signed. I mean, but if this, when this happens, this is going to be a long-term thing. It's not just going to be for this season. So I wasn't trying to be like, oh, golf's going on right now. We have to do it right this very second. Because everything's got to be done in person. He lives in Vegas. I do not. And, I've just, with as busy as I am, I can't just up and leave. Plus, I'm already going to be out that way for spring training. All right, would you guys rather have a underdog or a favorite in college basketball action? It's coming directly off the card. Directly off of my premium card. I've got a couple of dogs. I've got some favorites. Which would you guys rather have? The favorites are both in, I'll tell you this, or the underdogs, the two that I have locked in on the night slate of games are both televised conference action within power conferences. It's not, a Ball State or anything like that. So if that's what you are leaning towards wanting to have something that's already going to be televised, it's already going to be a big deal, I do have some underdogs in games like that. Brennan, yes, I do now. Houston versus Tulsa is not on my card. Just to give you an example, we have one game that just started. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 premium or 6 premium NCAA basketball selections left and 1 top play. We've only posted 1 NHL for the day. It was Vancouver on the road as an underdog. They went in there, whooped up on Buffalo pretty bad. Nice winner there. Looking at another, we'll see. Looking at 1 NBA play. Had 2 circle, but I don't think 1's going to make it. We got to play in the Ravens-Titans game tonight. So if you're not on a package, jump on. Get the rest of the day's plays. Plenty of action left. And whatever you buy between today and end of business tomorrow, you will automatically be entered into a drawing to win that exact same package for free. So if you buy a 3-day, 7-day, a month, season, year, whatever, and your name is drawn on Sunday night, if you win whatever you bought, you will get again. If you buy the NHL season and your name is drawn and you win, you can choose to get NBA, college basketball. You can choose to wait and get baseball. You can get hockey for next year. If you buy a 1-year all access and your name is drawn, you immediately get another year tacked on to that year. Or you can choose to give it away. It's up to you. You buy a month and you win, you get another month tacked on absolutely free. So just keep that in mind. Whatever you buy, you could very easily win that for free. Drawing will be done tomorrow night. I'll ever get sick of you talking about sports. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't want to hear about it, but just in general, no, not really, because it pays the bills. It used to really bad, but then when, I mean, hell, it gives her a pretty damn good life, so can't really complain about it. Hell, if she, one thing that I cannot stand, I mean, absolutely cannot stand, is reality television. You know what I'm talking about. But if she was a reality TV expert and it paid what this pays me to be able to wager on games for a living and essentially be a talk show host about sports, then I probably would shut the fuck up about it. The lifetime package no longer exists, Irie. It was only for 3 people. They've already claimed their prize. What's up, Bill? Nope. Texas game's not even on my card. Alright, so let's see what people... There's 1 underdog. 2 underdogs. Favorites. Favorite underdog. Alright, so it's basically even. I'm gonna flip a coin. I do not have the Vikings game in a premium. I think I've said that at least 1,000 times. Nope. Irie, that was a one-time only deal. I gave out a lifetime for less than a year cost. I can't do that often. Hell, I shouldn't have done it then, but I don't know. Maybe one time in the future I might do it one more time. I don't know. No time soon, though. All right, 2 more dogs. All right, let's do a dog. Let me double check the line, see if it's changed. I mean, obviously, I put this game out. Shitty deals. I don't know what that means. Damn, where the hell did this game go? No way William Hill. Oh, here it goes. Here we go. You'll buy what? Favorites 3-1 this week. I don't know what that means either. All right, tonight I like Boston College plus 3.5. I broke this game down 3 different ways and took into multiple accounts, obviously multiple different things that could factor in the change of a line outside of just the two teams themselves. Georgia Tech should be favored, in my opinion, by a point at best. Pick them the more, justifiable line. Georgia Tech is getting a little bit too much credit for how they beat North Carolina, number one. And what you've got to take into account there, did they beat North Carolina? Yes. Did North Carolina have a prayer to beat them after about 10 minutes in? No. But North Carolina also went like 7 minutes and didn't make a single bucket. I mean, they basically gave away an entire half without doing anything. Look at the way Georgia Tech's defense played the second half against a depleted, non-existent North Carolina offense. Didn't play that well. And they played on the road in the Dean Dome, so take that into an account. And, Roy Williams got a little bit more out of his guys and Garrison Brooks than happens in most games. Georgia Tech has a good offense. Georgia Tech relies on driving that ball to the left side a little bit too much, where Boston College runs that 2-3 zone and puts that man right there and transitions him into the paint, which is going to pose a problem for Georgia Tech driving in the way that they like to. I do think these teams are fairly evenly matched, with Boston College having the slightly better defense, in my opinion, when they're on home floor. Offensively, I give Georgia Tech the edge, but again, you put an asterisk by that, being that they're on the road. They've been on somewhat of a road trip, and they've had to play teams that are struggling, to say the least, and they have shown a lot of weakness, and a lot of things have just fallen their way. Truth be told, because they're on home, now when you take into account home team, you're going to get Boston -2 to -3. If we want to go with my initial line of Georgia Tech -1, you add home court into there and you say BC's -2. Pick 'em is what I think it really should be, and then BC should be -3. BC catching 3.5, in my opinion, just a little bit too much. Percentage rating, if you look at just win-loss percentage of how I think these two teams match up stat for stat for their 5 starters and the 3 players that they transition in and out more so than the rest, I think that the 60% advantage goes to Boston College outside of being at home, outside of catching points. I think BC is the better team in this matchup, in this situation, and I think that them catching points is not accurate. So I'll take the 3.5 points with Boston College to beat Georgia Tech. If you want to take the money line at plus 155, those are good odds. You could sprinkle some on the money line as well. Being that we're getting over 3 points, the value definitely lies with taking the 3.5. But if you wanted to maybe make a 1-unit wager on plus 3.5 and then sprinkle a half unit on plus 155, it would not be the worst decision you've ever made. So we've done quite a few free plays today. St. Mary's, Gave out the Ravens. Hell, I gave out the Vancouver Canucks premium play on video today. Now we did BC. I gave out Arkansas on the money line, minus 125. If you like money line plays, I tell you another one that I like is Louisiana Tech today, minus $1.15 on the road on the money line. I wouldn't lay the point because you can lay 5 cents more and avoid a push. So what time is it? All right, I got to go. Game starting in 15 minutes, and after that, I got to go see my barber. And, guys, just so you know, funeral is tomorrow, so no live show. Probably won't even do a free play video. I'm going to catch this NC game, and then after that, cop a haircut. And then I'm going to actually probably be going to bed, getting up about 4 a.m. to go over the Sunday card, get plays out. And then I'm MIA all afternoon tomorrow, so just please keep that in the back of your mind. If you send me an email mid to late morning tomorrow, you'll get an out of office response, but you will not get a response until very late Sunday night or Monday when I'm back at it. But plays to all clients will be out before I hit the road in the morning. And we got plenty of action left for tonight. So jump on if you're not on. Whatever you purchase today or tomorrow, you are thrown in the mix for a random drawing. Whoever gets picked will win that same package for free to tack on to what they've already purchased. So make sure you sign up if you're not signed up. I appreciate everybody tuning in and spending a couple hours with me today. Enjoy the free plays. Enjoy the winners that we've already pushed through today. Dayton's already cashed. Auburn's already cashed. Vancouver's already cashed. So we are already in the green for today, for sure. Appreciate it, Danny. All right, Irie. Irie, send me an email, please. And I will talk at you guys. If I don't see you tomorrow for a free play video, because the only way I'm going to do one of those is if I have the time to, if I can do it late tonight if all the information's there. But if you are not following me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I'll give the free play out there tomorrow. And I'm going to be doing a cool little contest involving football that I think you guys will really like. It's involving taking a screenshot of something. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. Follow me on Twitter at PicksChase. You will absolutely love this thing. It's cool. I've done it like 1,000 times since somebody sent it to me. It's awesome. It's fun as shit to do. And we're going to roll that in and do a contest out of it. But anyway, make sure you follow me there anyway, or Instagram at ChaseWinSports, Twitter at PicksChase, and go check out Outfielders Anonymous on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, all that. Episode 3 is already up. Episode 4 is done and will be up in the next day or so. So I think that's it. Appreciate everybody tuning in. And I will see you guys back next week. Oh, and if anybody's wondering about the top play, if you want just the top play for today, you've got about an hour to get it. $25. Winner gets more free. See you guys.